All right, good evening. Welcome to the Bakersfield Speedway. The race doctor here, Mike Mosier, along with California Raceway Video. On tap tonight, we have the four divisions, the late model, of course, the modified streets, the hobby stocks, and the popular IMCA modifieds. All of that action. They're going to get ready here, about 30 minutes, about 7 o'clock right now, probably 85 degrees out. Beautiful, warm, sunny day here in Bakersfield. A lot of action being expected, so just sit back, take your shoes off, let your hair down as the story unfolds. California Raceway Video, racing at its best. And I love racing. Yeah, buddy. Jay Marks out of Isabella, second time ever in a race car in the white 08, sets the pace. Into turn 3, out into turn 4. Your starter, Ronnie Ybarra, looks him over, and we're on the green. 3 abreast into turn 1. Bewley on the bottom side, Rick Henderson in the middle, and Hook on the top side. Jay Marks, your leader, 3 abreast down the back chute. Track a little wet out there as they slide. Henderson gets crossed up. Henderson. The front yard dog, Roger Herrick in green number 25, running second. Gentleman Tim Bewley in the yellow 37 car, now running third. Top 3 qualifiers go directly to the main. Top 3 go directly to the main. Herrick sets it down low, coming off 4, gets up on the berm, look out. Oh, Herrick gets hammered on the bottom side by Jay Marks. Herrick hangs on the wheel out of turn 2, your leader. Tim Bewley now up to third. John Fenton running fourth in the 05 car. Top 3 qualify, so Bewley's got to hang on to that wheel. He is on the bubble right now. John Fenton trying to work him over as Bewley sticks it deep into 3 down low. Hooked up with Jay Marks. Marks drops back 2 positions. Tim Bewley now up to second, sponsored in by Bleacher Bums and Nails by Lori. The 37 car, Tim Bewley now in the second running position. John Fenton in the 05 car, now on the bubble, running third. Fourth is the number 66 car, Jim Deedy. White flag action now to your leader, the 25 car, Roger Herrick. And here's your winner off turn 4 in a big way, Roger Herrick, the front yard dog. Coming in second now off turn 4, the 37 car, Gentleman Tim Bewley. And the third and final qualifier, sponsored by Cargill's Welding and Southwest Garage, John Fenton. Those front 3 go directly to the main. All others will be relegated to a semi-main as Lloyd Reed goes up in smoke at the apex of 3 and 4, jumps out of his ride. You find the number 43 car. Comes to us by the way of Bakersfield, your driver, Tim Scott. Outside front row, the number 83 car. Out of Bakersfield, your driver, Terry Brewer. There's some sports fans in favor of Brewer taking this one, I guess. Also, second row inside, the number 77 car. Sponsored by Kern Towing, your driver, Ben Mock. Second row outside, the red 40 car. It is the lady driver, sponsored in by Performance Machine, your driver, Lacey Laura Ferris. Third row inside, another lady driver in the number 35 car. Out of Hanford, Ruthie Reed. The green machine, the number 33 car. Your driver, Jammin' Jerry Horlacher. The 16 car out of Bakersfield, Danny Lewis. And now second place runner in that blue Monte Carlo has held that first position forever until last weekend. Now in second in points, known as Billy the Boot Out House Irwin. 8 cars, top 3 qualify directly to the main. Starter, Ronnie Yabar indicating to the drivers next time around, lights are out, we'll look to go green. And we're on the green. Tim Scott a little loose off turn 4. First in the turn 1, the number 83 car, Terry Brewer, off turn 2. He is your leader. Tim Scott running second. Lacey Laura Ferris third. Ben Mock a close fourth. Top 3 go directly to the main. Billy the Boot Irwin now moves up to 5th, getting past 3 cars. There you can see the number 43 car of Tim Scott currently running second. Right behind him, the number 40 car, Lacey Laura Ferris. Laura Ferris on the bubble, last transfer position as the 77 car, Ben Mock, trying to reel her in. Ferris pushes up high out of turn 4. Ferris running that upper groove, opens the door for Mock. Mock with not enough RPM to take advantage of that move, but Irwin and Jammin' Jerry Horlacher with a great battle coming into 3. Oh, look out. Billy the Boot Irwin getting sideways. Track surface still a little bit wet. Everybody pushing up high toward the wall. White flag action one more time around. The 83 car, Terry Brewer, your leader. And your winner off turn 4, Terry Brewer. Look out, Tim Scott into the wall, down the main chute. And Laura Ferris moves up for a second place win. Right front broken on the suspension of the 43 car. He did finish third and qualifies to the main. We'll see if he'll be able to make the repairs on that red 43 car. If not, the number 77 car, Ben Mock, will transfer to the main. He finished 4th. Outhouse Boot Billy Irwin finishing up 5th. Ruthie Reed, and then Jammin' Jerry Horlacher. Qualifier on the pole. We'll find the number 69 car out of Bakersfield, sponsored in there by Aloha Pools and Simpson Auto Wrecking. Your driver, Virgil Riddle. The black number 3, Nova, outside front row, out of Manhattan Beach. Your driver, Scott Cameron. Next in the lineup, we find the number 52 car, comes to us by the way of Bakersfield, known as Crazy Kenny Hammonds. Pretty crazy, isn't he? Next in the lineup, the number 61 car, representing Taft, California, Mike Sparks. The number 2 car, known as the Flying Hawaiian, out of Bakersfield, Roger Remy Jr. The number 5 car, out of Bakersfield, your driver, Brian Reed. And finally, your points leader, as of last week, known as Speedy, Steve Cargill, in the number 11 car. Lights out, we're on the green. Scott Cameron first into turn 1 in the upper groove. Off turn 2, your leader, Virgil Riddle second, the number 53 car, also in the lineup, now running third. Frank Reed out of Hanford making a challenge on the high side up top of Riddle. Cargill now past 3, trying to make his way to the front. Top 3 go to the main. Oh, tight racing quarters down the back chute. Riddle popped up high. Lost control. Remy collects Sparks. Frank Reed was also caught up in that melee, no fault of his. Your leader, the number 3 of Scott Cameron, out of Manhattan Beach, off turn 4. 3 laps down. Crazy Kenny Hammonds now running second. Steve Cargill up to third. Steve Cargill in the red number 11 on the bubble, as Brian Reed, the number 5 car. If he goes to the main event, he'll have to move up past one more car. Cargill had a look at him for a moment off turn 4. Crazy Kenny Hammonds now making a bid to take over that first place over the black number 3 of Scott Cameron. Brian Reed on the top side of Cargill. Cargill pops up that second groove up on the top side. Cargill now up to second. Brian Reed making an attempt to get into Crazy Kenny Hammonds. White flag action one more time around. Brian Reed hits the main chute wall. Cargill goes to the high side, up into 3, stops and drops back low as Scott Cameron opens the door. A race to the checkered. Cargill takes it by a 1.5 feet. Scott Cameron second and Crazy Kenny Hammonds third. Cargill with a muscle move into 3 caused Scott Cameron to stick it a little deeper than he wants to. Open the door coming out of 4 and wins it by a 1.5 feet. Your winner, the number 11, Steve Cargill. Sponsored in there by Sutton Chevron and CNL Auto. Finishing up second, the black number 3 of Scott Cameron. In third place and the final qualifier, the 52 of Crazy Kenny Hammonds. The 09 car comes to us by the way of Taft, California. Your driver, Ed Barrett, outside front row. You'll find the driver in the number 90 car comes to us by the way of Bakersfield. Your driver, Scott Trahan. Second row inside, the number 24 car out of Bakersfield. Your driver, Adam Wren. Second row outside, the number 44 car, sponsored in by Chubby's Dinner. Out of Hanford, your driver, Ed Nichols. The number 32 car, sponsored by Vaughn's Markets, Ramblin' Ron Schmidt. Then you find the number 1 car, sponsored by J&S Auto out of Taft, California. Man soon to be taken out of competition, of course, in the masculinity sense, getting married to Sheila Metters. Your driver, Don Peaser. The number 16 car thus has won 3 main event wins. He's the winningest feature driver in point structure thus far. Out of Porterville, your driver, Jeff Houstons. And finally, the last one in the entry, the number 50, the yellow machine, Wayne Kaufman, starting grid for round 4 qualifier for the hobby stocks. Lights out, we're looking to go green, the 09 car. Ed Barrett out of Taft sets the pace off for, and Yabar lets him go. Dave's Auto Glass, the sponsor in there for the 09 of Ed Barrett, is off turn 2, your leader by a car length. Next is the 24 car of Adam Wren, and then the number 90 of Scott Trahan. Top 3 qualifiers. Adam Wren gets in the backside of Barrett, spins him out. He collects the 32 car of Ronnie Schmidt. As we go yellow, tough luck Ron Schmidt. He was so Ed Barrett, hopefully you've got a spare A-arm. Ball joint broke off of that upper A-arm, possibly that can be replaced quickly. To win 3 feature wins thus far and 1/5 to move him up to 4th in the point structure coming in tonight's event as we go lights out. Anticipation to green, this time out of turn 4. Adam Wren sets the pace and Ybarra sets the green flag to work. We're on the green. Scott Trahan up high for a moment, had a look at taking that lead over, settles in for second as Adam Wren goes into turn 3, your leader. Top 3 qualify to the main. Currently on the bubble, the number 32 car, sponsored by Matt's Express Lube, Ron Schmidt, but he's catching some heat now by the 16 car of Jeff Houston's, as well as Don Peaser. Down low, Peaser takes a look at him. Schmidt down low, Houston's up high. Wren pushing as he comes into turn 4, up real high. Houston's now up to second. Now up to second as it goes into turn 3. Houston gets underneath Trahan. Houston's now to second. Trahan on the bubble. Don Peaser now in the hunt as he tries to reel Scott Trahan in. First 3 go to the main, so Peaser getting married, obviously looking for some excess cash, trying to get into that qualifier. And Peaser makes a muscle move on Schmidt, goes high into turn 2. Peaser now up to 4th, his eyes set on the backside of the number 90 car of Scott Trahan. 6 laps down, this time past me. The number 1 car has got to move up 1 more position as Scott Trahan wisely closes the door on him out of turn 2. White flag action. Jeff Houston's with a muscle move down the main chute. Houston's now your leader. Adam Wren second. Trahan third with a close Don Peaser in that number 1 car. Checkered flag this time out of turn 4. And your winner, Jeff Houston. Adam Wren second. And Scott Trahan, sponsored in there by Rosedale Equipment Rental, your 3rd and final qualifier here this evening for the hobby division. So a nice drive by the 16 car, started 6th in the lineup, moves himself all the way up, takes that win. On the pole, representing Taft, California, in the 76 car, your driver, Charlie Jones. Outside front row. Sponsored in there by A1 Multi-Business in that black number 3 out of Bakersfield, Bubble Earnshaw. The number 52 car, sponsored in there by Chewy's Mesquite Broiler, your driver, Hammer, James the Hammer Hammonds. The number 18 car out of Porterville, your driver, Kevin Collier. The 4J car, sponsored by Chad Jeffries, Race Car Paints, Super Phil Matthews, and the number 17 car, Steve Nolan, sponsored by Eagle Snacks and American Truck Parts. Oh boy, a quick start for Bo Earnshaw. Hammers it into one off turn 2, your leader. Earnshaw going like a big dog into turn 3. Charlie Jones in the 76 car, sponsored in there by J&S Auto. Kevin Collier, the red number 18, third. Earnshaw, look out. Real fast qualifier here tonight. Jones gets underneath Earnshaw out of turn 2. As he pushes, opens the door. Now up to second. Off turn 4, a pass being made by Kevin Collier. Earnshaw makes a love tap on the backside of Kevin Collier. Collier, your leader. Earnshaw comes right back at him. Earnshaw, Collier, then Charlie Jones. Jones looking exceptionally well here tonight. Go yellow. Yellow flag for debris down the back chute, just below the Hall ambulance sign. The 17 car of Steve Nolan was your 1994 track champion. The winningest driver thus far for 1994, as he has picked up 5 feature wins. Back on the green, Collier, your leader, Earnshaw second. Charlie Jones third. James the Hammer Hammonds fourth, and then Steve Nolan and Super Phil Matthews. Nose to tail off turn 2. White flag action. Your leader, the red number 18, Kevin Collier. Earnshaw up high out of turn 2, running second. And here comes your winner off turn 4, Kevin Collier. Running second, finishing second is Bo Earnshaw. Charlie Jones third, James the Hammer Hammonds fourth, and fifth is Steve Noland. I don't know if you could pick up on that black number 3 of Bo Earnshaw. Suspension really flexing as he goes through the apexes of the corners. Car really hooking up, but he's having a little trouble with that suspension, but hung in there for a real strong second finish. Your winner, of course, the red number 18 of Kevin Collier. The black number 3. Black number 3 of Bo Earnshaw. All right, on the pole, the 01 car, sponsored by Performance Machine, along with Clint Loveless, the driver out of Bakersfield, Steve Johnson. Outside front row, the 44 car, sponsored in by Larry Collins of Abbott's Machine. Real pretty 44 blue and yellow. Also by Cole's Auto Repair and Manzella. Your driver, Rick Childress. The black number 2, sponsored in by Scott Pounds Motorsports and Discount Corner. Your driver out of Bakersfield, Dashing Daryl Hood. The number 91 car, next in the lineup, third in points out of Porterville. Your driver, Billy Nolan. The 16 car, Steve Smotherman, and the 79 of Jim Harker out of Isabella. We're on the green. Childers first into turn 1, off turn 2, your leader. Nolan drops back 2 positions, got high in turn 2. Nose the tail as they go through 3 and 4. Rick Childress, your leader, followed by the 01, Steve Johnson. Third, the number 2 of Daryl Hood. Hood got a nice hookup off turn 2, side by side into 3. Johnson and Hood. Johnson gets a piece of Childress. Childress able to hang on. Hood making a challenge for that second place. Gets up next to Steve Johnson, muscles his way up. Hood now running second. Childress still your leader, 4.5 laps down. Hood with the love tap on Childress into 3. Steve Smotherman now up to 3rd. Hood takes the high side on top of Childress. Finds the handle and hooked up. Childress second, Smotherman third. White flag action. Your leader, the black number 2, Daryl Hood. The 16 car, Steve Smotherman second. Currently running third, the 01 car, Steve Johnson. Here comes your winner off turn 4, Dashing Daryl Hood. Steve Smotherman second, Steve Johnson third. Rick Childress fourth, Jim Harker fifth, and Billy Nolan sixth, with smoke coming out the right side of his front end. There's your winner, the black number 2, Daryl Hood. And the 79 car finding his way second. Starting grid for round 1 qualifier. On the pole, the 87 car out of Bakersfield, sponsored in there by Taco D. Your driver, Buck Cox. Outside front row, you find the number 55 car, comes to us out of the late model division of 1994, now in an IMCA out of Bakersfield. Your driver, Doug Thompson. The blue 0 car. Your driver, Jim Reeves. Second row outside the number 70 car out of Port Hueneme Oxnard. Your driver, Bob McMahon. Third row inside, the number 4 car comes to us by the way of Bakersfield. Your driver, George C. Scott. The number 78 car next in the lineup, also out of Bakersfield. Your driver, Kevin Nichols. And then finally, the number 6 car out of Porterville. Your current points leader, your driver, Darren Smotherman. Lights out now, looking for the green flag. Ybarra sets him loose. Buck Cox, a lot of power into turn 1, off turn 2, your leader. Doug Thompson hopping all the way through 1 and 2. Runs second. Bob McMahon on the high side out of 2, now up to second. Kevin Nichols also with a good move, now running third. Bob McMahon trying to reel your leader in the black 87, Buck Cox. Running third, the 78 car of Nichols. Fourth, the number 55, Doug Thompson. Now in the hunt, your points leader, the white number 6 of Darren Smotherman, now up to fourth. Doug Thompson lost power in his red number 55. Here you can see Darren Smotherman in the white number 6 trying to get underneath the white number 78 of Kevin Nichols. Bob McMahon sticks it deep into 3, opens the door. Both Nichols and Smotherman make a move. Smotherman down low out of turn 2, completes the pass. 6 laps down this time around. Smotherman got bobbled out of turn 4. And McMahon moves back up to third. White flag action this time around. Buck Cox your leader, Kevin Nichols second. Bob McMahon currently running third. Here comes your winner off 4. Buck Cox, Kevin Nichols second, Bob McMahon third, Darren Smotherman fourth, Jim Reeves fifth, and George C. Scott sixth. And finally the 55 of Doug Thompson. Wedding chapel, known as Superman, the number 5 car, Scott Gatson. Outside front row, the 08 car, representing Taft, California, your driver, Jay Barrett. Second row inside, the number 12 car, all the way out of Hawthorne, California, your driver, Ron Bartels. Second row outside, another hard charger way up in the points in the national standings. The number 18 car comes to us by the way of Tulare. I believe he's 6th in points right now in the national point structure. Your driver, Tom Bowser. The 26 car inside, last row out of Bakersfield, Gary Brannon. And then the number 4 car, sponsored by Santa Maria Driveline, your current national points leader, the red number 4 out of Santa Maria, Ryan Cole. Lights out, we're looking to go green. And Ronnie Ibarra sets him free, we're on the gas. Jay Barrett first into turn 1 off turn 2, your leader. Ryan Cole all the way up to third already, half a lap down. A race into turn 1, Tom Bowser now your leader, Jay Barrett second, Ryan Cole third. Oh, Ryan Cole up in smoke as he went down the back chute. Oh my gosh. He was hooked up looking good. And we go yellow as your current national points leader, Ryan Cole. You can see oil drop down the back chute right about at that opening below the drug sign. You can see the fluid starting to drop, and all of a sudden it went up in smoke. Bowser sets the pace. Jay Barrett second, Ron Bartels third, Gary Brannon fourth, and we're on the green. Bartels up high in turn 3, a second groove. With a lot of RPM off 4. Ron Bartels running the ridge route, trying to get past the 08 of Jay Barrett. Barrett opens the door for Bartels. Bartels on the top side, Barrett. Ron Bartels working the backside of Jay Barrett, trying to find a way around him. White flag this time around for your leader, Tom Bowser. Bartels into 3 on the upside. Down on the bottom, Jay Barrett. And here comes your winner, right behind Gatson, Tom Bowser. A race for second between Jay Barrett, and Barrett holds on for second. Ron Bartels third. Gary Brannon fourth, and Scott Gatson fifth. All brought to you by Jeff Christiansen of California Raceway Video, catching all the action here on video here tonight. Catch all you race fans down at Lamppost Pizza immediately following tonight's event to show all of the racing action from last week's. Bear Smog, Coles Automotive, A1 Multi-Business, and Sam's Towing, your driver out of Bakersfield, Sammy Tucker. Sammy Tucker. Outside front row, the yellow and blue number 83, a young 19-year-old out of the IMCA modified of last year, now in a late model. Number 83 car currently 5th in points. Your driver out of Bakersfield, Dustin Abernathy. Second row inside, man that's currently 3rd in points, comes to us by the way of Lancaster, sponsored in there, of course, by Miller Genuine Draft, the number 28 car, Joe Whitlow. The number 86 car, sponsored by Cox Brothers, Delco Gunite, and the Hair Emporium, the number 28 car, your driver out of Bakersfield, Chad Reichenbach. Next row inside, 2nd place in points, the number 51 car out of Bakersfield, your driver, Eric McQuarter. And a second time on the track for 1995, the number 88 car. And I don't find him in the point structure as yet. Out of Bakersfield, or out of, I believe it's Lancaster, your driver, John Hill. Caliente. The black number 88. Thanks, Don Lowe. Appreciate that. Our track statistician, the number 88 car out of Caliente, California. The black number 88, John Hill. A hard charger of yesteryear, now back into competition. As the lights are out, we're looking for green. Sam Tucker setting the pace into 4. Ronnie Ybarra sets them free. We're on the gas. Sam Tucker first into turn 1 off turn 2. Your leader down low is the 83 car of Abernathy, but look out. Chad Reichenbach on the move, up on the high side. Reichenbach and Abernathy make contact. Oh, up in the wall. Eric McQuarter got bumped up into the wall by the 83 car. Nothing intentional. Reichenbach down low, Tucker up high. Reichenbach off turn 2, your leader now. Tucker back to 2nd. Abernathy running 3rd in the yellow number 83. Abernathy down low with a muscle move, trying to pull a pass. Can't quite pull it off. Joe Whitlow running 4th. McQuarter and John Hill down the main chute. McQuarter down low makes a side slide move. And Abernathy now makes a pass to 2nd in the yellow number 83. Tucker back to 3rd. John Hill up on the ridge run. Joe Whitlow takes a look underneath a Tucker off turn 2. Your leader, the 86 car, Chad Reichenbach. Whitlow and McCorder make contact. White flag action now being shown to your leader, Chad Reichenbach. Here's your winner, the 86 car, Chad Reichenbach. Dustin Abernathy second, John Hill third, Eric McCorder fourth, Joe Whitlow fifth, and Sam Tucker finishing sixth. So a whole lot of passing going on with that late model heat race. And Reichenbach, sponsored also in there by Randy Gray Racing, RGR, takes the win, round 1 qualifier for the late model division. Find the number 51 car, comes to us out of Ridgecrest, your driver Bobby Cram. The third car back, you'll find the number 74 car. Comes to us by the way of Bakersfield, last year's modified street driver in a late model this year. Won 2 main events in a row. Sponsored in by Rosedale Equipment Rental. Your driver, Jeff Hilton. Jeff Hilton with a whole lot of fan support. Currently sits 7th in points, just 10 out of 6th. Next car in the lineup, you find the number 41 car, comes to us by the way of Anaheim. Your driver, Billy Meyer Jr. And then finally you find the number 1 car, also sponsored in by Scott Pounds Motorsports. He is currently your points leader out of Bakersfield, 452 points, known as the Rocket Man. Big hand for Scott Pounds. Scott Pounds, sponsored in by the Powerhouse, as well as Scott Pounds Motorsports. 8-lap qualifier, round 2 for the late model division. Bobby Cram sets the pace on the pole out of Ridgecrest. What's up? What's up, Holmes? Lights out, looking to go green. We're on the gas. Mike Collins sticks it deep into turn 1, off turn 2, your leader. Jeff Hilton on the high side, making a muscle move down into turn 3 on top of Bobby Cram. Cram pushes high, Hilton comes down. Hilton up to 2. Jeff Hilton out of 2nd, Cram back to 3rd. Bill Meyer Jr. in the 41 car takes a love tap from Scott Pounds. Pounds takes a look underneath Myers off turn 2, side by side into 3. It's Myers and Pounds. Myers with an edge off 4. Side by side down the main chute, and Pounds makes the move just before they go into turn 1. Myers got a piece of Pounds into turn 2 and able to hang on to it as he gathers it back up. Your leader, the number 3, Mike Collins. Jeff Hilton now running 2nd, Cram 3rd, Pounds back to 4th, and Myers 5th. Five and a half down, 2.5 remain as Pounds takes a look under number 51 off turn 2. Pounds into 3, sticks it deep. Scott Pounds now up to 3rd. White flag action this time around. Mike Collins, your leader. Jeff Hilton, 2nd. as Cram hits the main chute wall, sets a few sparks a-flying. Off turn 4, here comes your winner, Mike Collins. Jeff Hilton second. Scott Pounds third. And Billy Myers picks up that 4th position, edging out the 51 car of Bobby Cram. So a quick, fast, late model qualifier by the number 3 car, Mike Collins. Hilton second. And Pounds worked his way back up to third.
I got it. Now they're going to take me 15.
All right, this will be a 15-lap qualifier, top 8 qualifying for the main. This will be a 15-lap semi-main. Top 8 qualified directly to the main event. On the pole, the number 66 car. One of the Oldsmobiles on the track. Out of Bakersfield, the number 66 car. Your driver, Jim Deedy. Front row outside, the number 77 car. Out of Bakersfield, your driver, Ben Mock. Second row inside, the number 5 car. Your driver out of Bakersfield, Brian Reed. The number 1 car comes to us by the way of Taft, California, sponsored by J&S Auto Parts. Your driver, Don Peaser. Wedding coming up August 26. Third row inside, you find the number 8 B car. Out of Bakersfield, your driver, Jim Perry. The 01 car, your second place in points right now in the blue Monte Carlo, known as Outhouse Boot Billy Irwin. The number 61 car, also representing Taft, California, your driver, Mike Sparks. The number 91 car, the red number 91, is a double amputee, no hands, drives with a set of hooks, a couple of gear knobs. Mark Roberts, known as the Hook, in the number 91 car. The number 32 car, out of Bakersfield, sponsored by Vaughn's Markets, Matt's Express Lube, known as Ramblin' Ron Schmidt. The number 35 car, lady driver, comes to us by the way of Hanford, Ruthie Reed. The number 2 car, out of Bakersfield, known as the Flying Hawaiian, Roger Remy Jr. The number 53 car, comes to us by the way of Hanford, your driver, Frank Reed. The number 44 car, also out of Hanford, Ed Nichols. The 08 car, out of Isabella Lake, your driver, Jay Marks. Big crowd representing Jay Marks here tonight. The number 33 car, driving the green machine, known as Jammin' Jerry Horlacker. The number 50 car, the yellow number 50, your driver, Wayne Kaufman. The number 69 car, Virgil Riddle, out of Bakersfield. The number 16 car, you'll find Danny Lewis. And then finally the number 14 car, out of Bakersfield, Rick Henderson. That makes the starting grid for this semi-main event. 15 laps, top 8 qualified directly into the main. 19 cars, 8 will qualify to the main. Lights out, looking for a green this time around. And Ronnie Ibarra sets him off. Side by side into turn 1. Ben Mock off turn 2, your leader. Up jumps Billy Boot Irwin, up running third. A muscle move side by side into turn 3. Ben Mock and Jim Deedy, your front 2 runners. Billy the Boot Irwin now running third. Brian Reed 4th and Ramblin' Ronnie Schmidt 5th. Don Peaser also on the move into turn 3. Up on the high side. Moves up 2 car lengths in the corner now. Peaser up to 4th. Getting sideways, Jay Marks out of turn 2. 3 abreast off 2. Jim Deedy on the low side, Ben Mock on the high side. Mock sticks it deep into turn 3. Deedy turns it early. Spin out over in turn 2 as Deedy had made the pass at the flag stand, but will go back to the previous lap. Do not race to the yellow. Ben Mock sets the pace out of 2. Jim Deedy right on his back bumper along with Billy the Boot Irwin. We're on the green. Nose to tail into turn 3. Deedy takes a look underneath of Mock off turn 2. Gets his nose down there for a moment. Reed and Jerry Horlacher get crossed up. Look out, Jay Marks getting sideways down the inside apron. 2 abreast off 4. Jim Deedy up high, Ben Mock down low. First 8 qualify to the main. Your second and third place points runner currently running second and third. Ben Mock in the 77 car, your leader, but Jim Deedy now up underneath him. Mock goes up high in turn 2, opens the door. The Flying Hawaiian spun out in 4. Look out, traffic on its way. Oh boy, a tire breaks off of the Flying Hawaiian's left rear. Lands up high out of turn 3. To go green down the back chute, your leader, the 77 car of Ben Mock. Jim Deedy running second, Billy the Boot Outhouse Irwin third. As we're on the gas, Don Peaser running 4th, Jim Perry 5th, Brian Reed 6th. As we go on the green, Don Peaser side by side into turn 1 with Irwin. Irwin running the ridge route, makes the pass clean. A tire off into turn 2. Jerry Horlacher loses a right rear, lays down the wall, and we go on a yellow once again. All right. You picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel. Nichols, the number 44 car, currently on the bubble, will be the last qualifier to the main as we go green. Don Peaser, muscle move into 3.
Oh, the number 1 car. Right back.
Peaser and Irwin side by side into 1. Irwin on the high side, Peaser down low, still side by side as they go down the back chute into turn 3. Peaser and Irwin fighting for that 3rd position. Irwin bobbles and goes up high out of 4. And Don Peaser now in that 3rd position. Ben Mock gets sideways off turn 4. Jim Deedy right on the back door now, if you will, knocking to make a move. Ben Mock make a mistake, and Jim Deedy in that black number 66 will be there to inherit the lead. Don Peaser running 3rd. Brian Reed now 4th, and Billy the Boot Irwin back to 5th. Oh, Ed Nichols hits the wall as Rick Henderson moves up to that bubble position. Jim Deedy into turn 3. A muscle move on Bach. Ben Mock now back to 2nd. Deedy your leader. The 14 car of Rick Henderson on the bubble now. First 8 qualify to the main. Ramblin' Ronnie Schmidt running 7th. Jim Perry 6th. Three abreast off 4. Jay Marks makes a move off Frank Reed. gets by Ed Nichols. Rick Henderson gets loose in the infield. J. Marks looking to take over that transfer position, sticks it in the 3. Can he pull it off? J. Marks for that 8th position, moves up and takes it away from Henderson. 12 down, 3 remain. J. Marks made a great move out of 4 and is on the bubble now for that final transfer position. Frank Reed to the infield. Look out. White flag action to your leader, James Deedy. Ben Mock running second, Brian Reed third, Don Peaser fourth. Billy the Boot Outhouse Irwin fifth. Jim Perry sixth. Ronnie Schmidt seventh. J. Marks, and here's your winner, James Deedy. Ben Mock second, Brian Reed third, Don Peaser fourth. A wreck over in turn 2 with Ruthie Reed and the number 50 car. Wayne Kaufman up in smoke and down the back chute below the Castrol GTX sign in Milts Cafe. But a big hand for your winner, the black 66, James Deedy. Brian Reed transfers, Don Peaser transfers, J. Marks with a muscle move transfers, Ben Mock transfers, the 01 of Billy the Boot Irwin transfers, I believe the 32 of Ron Schmidt also transfers, and finally the number 8 of Jim Perry. All right, we'll lay down the starting grid here for you. On the pole, the number 87 car, which he won his qualifier earlier this evening. The number 87 car out of Bakersfield, your driver, Buck Cox. Front row outside the number 5 car, sponsored in there, of course, by Tammy's Flowers and Getting Hitched Wedding Chapel. Known as the Superman, Scott Gatson. Also Bender Chiropractic. Second row inside the 08 car out of Taft, California, your driver, Jay Barrett. The 0 car, the blue 0 car, your driver, Jim Reeves. Third row inside out of Port Hueneme, Oxnard, it is Bob McMahon. Out of Hawthorne, California, the white number 12, Ron Bartels. The number 18 out of Tulare, Tom Bowser. The number 6 out of Porterville, Darren Smotherman. The number 78, Kevin Nichols. The number 4, George C. Scott. And the number 55, Doug Thompson. Lights out. We're looking to go green. And we're on the gas. Hey! Buck Cox first into turn 1. Off turn 2, your leader. Scott Gatson running third. Jim Reeves up to second now. Bartels up to third. Gatson back to fourth. Gatson fourth. Jay Barrett fifth. Gatson getting loose off 2. Gatson collects Darren Smotherman. Bartels with a power move into turn 3. Sticks it in there, comes out on a second position. Running third is Jim Reeves. Kevin Nichols now up to fourth. Darren Smotherman fifth and Tom Bowser sixth. Ron Bartels with a lot of power starting to reel your leader in. Right rear flat on the 08 car of Barrett. Buck Cox starting to catch some heat from the number 12 car. Ron Bartels sticks it up high. Cox down low. Kevin Nichols running third. Jim Reeves fourth. Darren Smotherman fifth. 6 laps down. 14 to go. Smotherman up to fifth. Darren Smotherman up to 4th, rather. Check that. Your leader still the 87 car, as a right rear flat takes Doug Thompson out of competition with a lot of smoke off his car. Buck Cox down low, up high. Ron Bartels now trying to make a move on your first place runner, Cox. Also joining the hunt now is the 78 car of Nichols and Darren Smotherman. Halfway through the main event, 10 down, 10 remain. Bartels running 2nd, Nichols 3rd, Smotherman 4th, and Bowser 5th. Your leader, the 87 car of Buck Cox, gets loose off turn 4. Nichols up underneath the Bartels. Bartels in a little bit drier of the traction, gets more horsepower off turn 2. A real race up front now as your leader gives up the first place bid to Bartels. Your leader off the pace, up high out of 4. Right front flat on the 87 car. Your leader now the number 12 of Ron Bartels. Kevin Nichols running 2nd. 14 down, 6 to go. Darren Smotherman now up to 3rd. Oh no, Tom Bowser now comes up lame down the main chute. A yellow flag out for him. Oh, tough luck for a national points competitor. Tom Bowser comes up lame down the main chute. And we're on the green. Jim Reeves running 4th in the Blue Zero car. George C. Scott 5th in the number 4. Bartels sticks it up high into 3, opens the door off 4. Nichols bobbles in turn 2. Momentarily opened the door and Smotherman stuck his nose in there momentarily. No change in position on that move. $17 down, 3 to go. Two laps remain, 2 to go. White flag action, white flag. One more time around, your leader, the number 12 car. 2 more corners for your leader, trying to hold off Kevin Nichols. And your winner, Ron Bartels. Kevin Nichols 2nd. Darren Smotherman 3rd. Jim Reeves 4th. And George C. Scott 5th. Number 4 car got in the Kevin Nichols car, finishing up 2nd. out here knocking on the door many, many times and you find yourself in the winner's circle. I noticed you were tracking that 87 car Bud Cox and looked like his tire was going down. You really started reeling him in and you kind of known as a ridge runner running that second groove. How'd you find the hookup on that?
A lot better than usual.
He's definitely out of breath. Can you hear it? Adrenaline definitely pumping with a great finish there. And anyway, you were tracking down Bud Cox, and what happened when you popped up high?
No, the traction was good. It was right up. Was able to get around him.
He was working. I tell you what, this guy is tired, but how about giving him a big round of applause? Ron Bartell! Nice try, Ronnie. D-Roll 1 car sponsored by Performance Machine. Your driver, Steve Johnson. The number 3 car out of Bakersfield sponsored by A1 Multi-Business Forums known as Bo Earnshaw. The number 44 car out of Bakersfield sponsored by Coles Automotive, Manzella, and Larry Collins with Abbott's Crankshaft, known as Rude Rick Childress. The number 52 car, sponsored by True's Mesquite Broiler, out of Bakersfield, James the Hammer Hammond. The number 2 car, the black Camaro, third row outside, sponsored in there by Scott Pounds Motorsports. Discount corner, known as Dashing Daryl Hood. Next row, fourth row inside, the number 18 car out of Terabella, a hard charger here tonight, won the Harvey Hall Classic 2 weeks ago. Your driver, Kevin Collier. The number 91 car, sponsored in by American Truck Parts and Eagle Brand Snack, out of Porterville. Big hand for Billy Noland. The number 4 J car, sponsored in by Ed's 4x4. Chad Jeffries Race Car Paints, known as Super Phil Matthews. The number 16 car out of Porterville, your driver Steve Smotherman. The number 79 car comes to us out of the way of Ridgecrest. Ran late models last time out on a track. Modified Street Stock Champion before that. Sponsored in there by Hageman's Garage out of Santa Ana, California, Jim Harker. And then your 1994 track champion, sponsored in by American Truck Parts, Eagle Brand Snacks. Your driver out of Porterville, Steve Noland. Mike here, go ahead. Lights out, looking to go green this time around. Charlie Jones setting the pace. I only called 2 numbers if that's what she wants to know. Charlie Jones, your leader, gets hung up with Johnson in turn 2. Up comes Bo Earnshaw, your leader in the 3. Collier and Super Phil Matthews lock horns in a back chute, and we go on the yellow. Holy mackerel. Next time around, out of turn 4, complete restart. Holy mackerel, out of turn 4 comes the red monster, Kevin Collier. He'll join the lineup in the back of the pack. How many out here think that red number 18 can work his way up to the front and win this main event? He's a hard charger, let me tell you. He is awesome here tonight. How about that black number 3 of Bo Earnshaw? Lights out, looking to go green. Earnshaw sets the pace into 3. And we're on the gas. First into turn 1, off turn 2, Steve Johnson. Car number 1, your leader. Car number 3 running second. Car number 2 running third. I just thought I'd throw that in for grins. 1, 3, and 2. Actually running 1, 2, and 3. Steve Johnson, your leader. The red number 18 has 3 cars passed within 2 laps. Steve Nolan now making a move on Earnshaw up to 4th in that white 17 car.
Earnshaw's pushing.
Earnshaw pushing as he comes through the corners, loose off of 4. Johnson opens the door off 2. Darrell Hood takes a look at it. Hood sticks it deep into 3, but Johnson holds him off. James the Hammer Hammonds running 3rd. Side by side off 2, it's Johnson and Hood. Nolan and Hammer. Johnson and Hood pulls a pass off turn 2, off turn 4. The red number 18 of Kevin Collier now up to 7th. Steve Nolan now makes a pass, moves out. Tight bumpers with the 0-1. Look out down the main chute. Bumpers tangled with the 0-1 of Steve Johnson along with the 17 of Steve Nolan. James the Hammer Hammond 2nd. Steve Smotherman now up to 3rd. Steve Johnson back to 4th. Bo Earnshaw now 5th. And Kevin Collier up to 6th. Kevin Collier, we're back on the gas. Hood, your leader. James the Hammer Hammond 2nd. Collier on the high side of Bo Earnshaw out of turn 2. Earnshaw and Collier make contact. Steve Johnson loses the handle out of turn 4. Turn 2 action. Steve Smotherman now starting to make a move on James the Hammer Hammonds. Side by side into 3. Smotherman sticks it deep. Hammonds on the top side. Hammonds off turn 4, stays up in that 2nd position. It's Hammonds and Smotherman off turn 2. Jim Harker now with a move off turn 2. Up to 5th, Jim Harker. Number 18 car of Kevin Collier now getting underneath James the Hammer Hammonds. Collier up to 3rd. A loose tire in turn 1. A wheel comes off of the number 91 car. See the smoke coming off the inside of that rim. That's Billy Nolan in the white number 91 up in turn 1. Losing looks like a right front tire. A lot of steam coming off that inside rim. Kevin Collier in the red number 18 now up to 3rd. And we're back on the green. Collier underneath off turn 2 on a James the Hammer Hammonds. Collier up to 3. Your 3rd place runner now, Kevin Collier. turn 4 rather. Super Phil Matthews. Matthews, fire coming out the right side of his car. Looked like a motor going away on the number 4 car up in turn 2. And Bo Earnshaw on the apron of 4. Jim Harker now up to 4th. Harker making a bid to win this one here. And we're on the green. Collier down low, running 3rd. Steve Smotherman in the 16 car running 2nd. Off turn 2, side by side, it's Collier and Smotherman. Side by side into turn 3. Collier with an edge coming out of 4. Collier makes the move now up to 2nd. Steve Nolan now to 4th. Can Collier reel in the black number 2? That's the question we got here at this point. 19 down, 7 remain. Rick Childress now 6th. Super Phil Matthews 7th. Steve Johnson goes off the track. 20 down, 5 remain. Collier starting to reel the leader in. Kevin Collier underneath. Hood opens the door. It's Collier and Hood down the main chute. Hood opens the door, closes it quickly. Collier trying to make a move underneath. What a race for the finish. Hood gets hit by Collier out of 4. 22 laps down, 3 to go. White flag action one more time around. It's a race between Hood. He's got smoke coming out his backside. Can he hang on? Smoke coming out of the black number 2. It's Hood and Collier off 4. And your winner, Darrell Hood. Kevin Collier 2nd. Steve Smotherman in a 16 car 3rd. Steve Nolan 4th. Jim Harker 5th. And Rick Childress 6th. Out the front side. First off, let me make this presentation here. Gold Cup Racing Series main event winner, June 10th, your winner, modified street stocks. Dashing Darrell Hood. There you go, Darrell.
I tell you what, he's breathing real hard. Definitely had a whale of a show. I tell you, do you know that red monster, that blood machine, Kevin Collier, is starting to reel you in?
Yeah, I've seen him. Got out of me too, but he gave me plenty of room to run. That's a good run, good fair racer.
Good clean run, and I noticed the last 2 laps you had smoke coming out your backside. Is that due to your engine overheating? I can hear the steam starting to roll out of her now.
Yeah, she's a little hot. I think the rear end was going on that last yellow. I hear a lot of vibration back there.
I can smell the rear end fluid or transmission fluid. Here, let's take a little picture here, courtesy of Mike Woods, track photographer. All right, Daryl, is there anything you want to say to these race fans? I know they're hooping and hollering. We compared you with Kevin Collier in winning this here, and you took the victory. What do you think?
Well, I thank everybody out for coming out and watching us, and I'd like to thank Scott Pounds and Steve Pounds for putting a good ride underneath me.
He says he'd like to thank Scott Pounds and Steve Pounds for putting a ride under him. A good ride indeed. There's your winner, Dashing Daryl Hood.
I'd also like to thank
The fire-breathing monsters have taken the arena. All the gladiators are strapped into their fire suits. Belts are tight. The steering wheel is in their hands, and they're looking for the green. On the pole, the number 23 car. Man, it changed bodies and numbers over the week. Used to run the 0T car, and now in the number 23 car, sponsored in there by A1 Multi-Business. This guy was the one who's giving all kinds of pies away here tonight. By Home Run Pies, Bear Smogs, AC Distributors. Your driver, Sam Tucker, front row outside. The number 51 car comes to us by the way of Ridgecrest, Robert Cram. The number 83 car, Dustin Abernathy. The number 3 car out of, I believe it is Porterville, Doug McCauley Special. Your driver, Mike Collins. The number 28 car, Joe Whitlow Jr. Lights out, we're looking for a green. Number 41, Bill Meyer Jr. out of Anaheim, and we're on the gas. The number 74 car, Jeff Hilton. Oh, hard hitting down the back chute. Collins got pushed up high into the wall, gathered it back up. A flat tire on the 83 car of Dustin Abernathy. Looked like a right front flat on the 83 car. We stay on the green, your leader, Sam Tucker. Also, your current points leader, the number 1 car, Scott Pounds. The number 88 car, John Hill. The number 86 car, Chad Reichenbach. And the number 51 car, Eric McCorder. McCorder gets sideways into 3. Reichenbach down low, getting his nose underneath Whitlow momentarily. Whitlow with a nice drive into turn 3. Robert Cram gets loose out of 4. Boy, Robert Cram got loose off of 4. Almost collected a couple of cars. The number 41 car now making a bid for that first place is Bill Meyer Jr. Car of Sam Tucker, running second, the 28 of Joe Whitlow. Here comes the Rocket Man, Scott Pounds. Scott Pounds got a rolled up warning flag from your starter. Whitlow gets pounded down the back chute out of 2. Oh, Jeff Hilton got hit in the backside from John Hill. Scott Pounds, your current points leader, running second. Sammy Tucker in a 23 car running third. Chad Reichenbach in 86 car running fourth. And we're on the green. Pounds with a muscle move as Meyer looked like he fell asleep. Oh boy, yellow flag. Boy, I tell you, that 41 car is quick. We went back on the yellow. Your starter with a black flag in his hand. We'll see what the program is. Once again, Pounds getting a warning from your starter. Meyer sets the pace and we're on the green. Sam Tucker running third, Reichenbach fourth. John Hill, the muscle move down into three. Hill up high with a lot of RPM down the back chute. Oh boy, John Hill in the black 88 hits the main chute wall. Three abreast off two. John Hill up to third. Pounds down low off four. Scott Pounds your leader. Reichenbach fourth. Mike Collins now up to fifth. Eric McWhorter sixth. Jeff Hilton seventh. Eric McWhorter out of four. His hood up, no vision. Broken hood, takes it to the infield, or takes it to the pits rather. Your leader, the number one car off turn two, Scott Pounds. Running second, the 41 car, Bill Meyer Jr. A race for third right now between John Hill, Chad Reichenbach, and Mike Collins. Collins gets a hit on the inside of Reichenbach and allows Jeff Hilton to make a pass. Jeff Hilton now up to fifth. Halfway through, 15 down, 15 to go. A race off turn two between Reichenbach and John Hill. The 86 car and the 88 car, as Eric McWhorter makes it back out on the track. Reichenbach made the move on the high side. John Hill gets him back out of turn two. John Hill running third. Your leader, the number one car, Scott Pounds into turn three. Second place, the number 41 of Bill Meyer Jr. into turn four. John Hill opens the door. Reichenbach comes up side by side into one. It's Reichenbach and Hill off two, side by side down the back chute. Side by side into three. Hill up high. Jeff Hilton now on the bottom side of Hill. Jeff Hilton up to fourth. "21 laps down, 9 remain in this 30-lap main event of the late model division here, June 10th, 1995, the Bakersfield Speedway. All this racing action brought to you by California Raceway Video. As we go into turn four, Chad Reichenbach running third, Jeff Hilton fourth, makes contact with Bobby Cram. Mike Collins on that fifth position. 24 laps down now, 6 remain in this 30-lap main event. Your leader by straightaway, Scott Pounds, over the second place runner, Bill Meyer. 25 down, 5 remain. Chad Reichenbach in the 86 car running third, Jeff Hilton running fourth, Mike Collins fifth. Chad Reichenbach, turn 2, gets underneath of Myers. Couldn't hold the handle, and Jeff Hilton sticks it in deep into 3. Hilton up high, Reichenbach down low. Hilton hooks it up early, drops underneath it. Chad Reichenbach off 2. Reichenbach once again in 2, took a look at it. White flag action to Scott Pounds, your leader. One more time to go. Smoke starting to come out the backside of Chad's Reichenbach, number 86. Mike Collins trying to get a muscle move under Hilton. There's your winner, Scott Pounds, your current points leader. Second goes to Bill Meyer Jr., third to Chad Reichenbach, fourth to Jeff Hilton, and fifth to Mike Collins.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, there he is right here, the Rocket Man, Scott Pounds. Holy mackerel. All right, let's get Scott over here a little bit if we can and get a few words with him. How many of you happy to see the Rocket Man win this main event here tonight? All right, how many of you not happy to see him win it here tonight? Oh, about 50-50, but I tell you what, when a driver is able to come out week after week and kick booty, that makes controversy. This guy's one whale of a driver. We've been in the winner circle with this guy so many times, it's like we're part of the same family. Scott, how you doing tonight, bud? I'm doing real good now. I tell you what, you were driving a great race. Ronnie Myers was a tough animal out there for quite a while. He was holding the door behind you. They're closing the door coming out of 3 and 4, and nobody could get around you. But you were the class act here. Your current points leader, you just amassed another 80 points on top of that. What do you got to say for yourself?
Well, the best thing I can enjoy is we had the street stock with Daryl driving and late model both in Victory Circle. I got about 6 cars that come out of my stall and 3 or 4 guys working on them about 16, 18 hours a day, and this all makes it all worthwhile right here.
Well, I tell you what, I know he had his problems here a couple of weeks ago when we went to the Harvey Hall Summertime Memorial Day Classic, and you came down, you was doing a real fine job. You came down the main chute here, you went up and spoke. That was Saturday night, blew a motor. You spent all night working on that thing in hopes to make the feature race Sunday in Santa Maria, and what took place?
Well, the most important thing about it is me and Chris Stevenson, the guy that owns the car, and a couple guys worked about 5 o'clock in the morning, turned the motor down, seen what we had, and all we had was a bunch of junk. So we threw together some old street stock parts, stuff laying around, and went over to Santa Maria and called qualified fourth out of about 38 cars, and we got second in the first feature. And if anybody'd seen what was underneath the hood of this thing, they would have never believed it. We enjoyed it very much.
And it was one of those Daryl Hood street stock motors under your hood, huh?
And we swap them around, whatever it takes.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Your winner, the Rocket Man, Scott Pounds.
All right, 20 laps, main event for the hobby stocks. On the pole, the number 83 car out of Bakersfield, Terry Brewer. The black number 3 up out of the LA area from Manhattan Beach, Scott Cameron. Second row inside, the number 52 car, known as Crazy Kenny Hammonds. Outside second row, the number 90 car out of Bakersfield, your driver, Scott Trahan. The Ragin' Cajun. Third row inside, the red number 40, the lady driver, Lacey Laura Ferris. Good fan club here for Laura Ferris. Outside third row, the number 24 car, your driver, Adam Wren. Fourth row inside, the number 25 car, sponsored by Bryant's Radiator, Pick You Save, and California Raceway Video, known as a front yard dog, Roger Herrick. The number 37 car out of Bakersfield, sponsored by Bleacher Bums and Nails by Lori, known as Gentleman Tim Bewley. The number 11 car, your current hobby stock points leader, winning his qualifier here tonight, sponsored by Sutton Chevron, your driver, Speedy Steve Cargill. The number 16H, your winningest feature driver so far in the hobby division for 1995 out of Porterville, the 17-year-old Jeff Houstons. Next row inside, third place currently in points, the black number 66 car, comes to us by the way of Bakersfield, James Deedy. Outside of James Deedy, on the outside is the 05 car. Driver here tonight, John Fenton, brought to you by Cargill's Welding, Southwest Garage. Number 5 car, next row inside, your driver out of Bakersfield, Brian Reed. The yellow and plum colored number 77 car, Ben Mock. The 01 car, currently second in points in the blue Monte Carlo out of Bakersfield, known as Outhouse Boot Billy Irwin. The number 1 car, sponsored by JNS Auto out of Taft, California. A groom to be, soon to be married, August 26th. Wants to win this race to get some money for a wedding ring for his girlfriend Sheila. Your driver, Don Peaser. The number 32 car comes to us out of Bakersfield, sponsored by Vaughn's Markets. Your driver, Ramblin' Ron Schmidt. The number 8B out of Bakersfield, Jim Perry. The number 43 car, brought to you by Rosedale Equipment Rental, Tim Scott. And the last driver in the lineup, he made it just across the finish line in time out of his qualifiers, the late 8th transferee, the 08. Your driver, Jay Marks out of Lake Isabella. Lights out, we're on the green. Oh boy, John Fenton, a 05 car, almost went over out of turn 1. A wreck over in turn 2. Ben Mock. Terry Brewer, your leader. Mock goes to the infield. Look out, lap traffic in front of your leader, Terry Brewer. The number 3 of Scott Cameron, second. Scott Trahan, third. Crazy Kenny Hammonds, fourth. Roger Herrick, fifth. Lacey Laura Ferris, sixth. Adam Wren, seventh. Jeff Houston's eighth, but Houston's on a power move on the top side. A hood coming off the number 5 car, could not find the exit. Oh, a wreck down the back chute under the Hall ambulance sign. Scott Trahan and Lacey Laura Ferris lock horns. Wedding bells tonight. Until looking to go green. Out comes Laura Ferris. And we're on the green. Roger Herrick with a move underneath Crazy Kenny Hammonds. Crazy Kenny Hammonds up to third, locks bumpers momentarily. Roger Herrick made an opportunistic time there and made a move up. Roger Herrick now up to second. Scott Cameron back to third. Jeff Houston's with a power move down the back chute into three. Houston's up high, Cameron down low. Jay Marks now up to 9th place as he goes down the back chute. Billy the Boot Irwin up to 10th. Roger Herrick starting to reel that leader in. Off turn 2, Herrick had his nose looking underneath the quarter panel. Herrick gets down low underneath of Brewer. Off turn 4, side by side, it's Brewer and Herrick.
Aaron looks a little bad, huh, on the left?
Look,
Turn around, look at that.
yeah, he's way out. The spring's bent. Brewer opens the door off 4, Herrick down low. Jeff Houston's running third, now in the hunt. Steve Cargill up to 4th. Oh, look out, Herrick and Houston's. Houston sticks it deep into 3. Off 4, he makes the pass, it's Houston's.
Terrible interview. Red car, second place.
Roger Herrick acts like he's got a left rear flat. Houston's with a power move, comes underneath and takes the lead. A left rear flat on Roger Herrick. Steve Cargill running third. Jay Marks with a muscle move. Jay Marks now up to 5th. Marks is starting to reel your leaders in. Marks sits right behind of Tim Bewley. Marks on the bottom side, Bewley on the top. Marks sticks it deep into 3. Marks up to 4th. Jay Marks driving his shoes off. Oh, Jay Marks spins in turn 2. He had moved up to 5th or 4th and sits on the apron in turn 2. Scott Cameron loops it over out of turn 4.
Dipshit or what?
Tim Bewley involved with the spin out on the 08 car. Has his fender bent inside of his tire. Takes it to the infield. Scott Cameron up against the wall out of turn 4. Was spun to the infield, tried to get it up and starting again. But your leader right now, the young 17-year-old in a 16 car, Jeff Houston's. He is the winningest feature winner this year for 1995 out of Porterville. Terry Brewer running second. Steve Cargill sits in that 3rd position. How many think that 17-year-old in the 16 car can hang on and win this main? How about the 83 car of Terry Brewer? We're on the green. Don Pieser, a muscle move under Cargill into 3. And Pieser makes the pass going into 1. Cargill on the high side comes off even off turn 2. it twisted up going into one with Scott Cameron. Roger Herrick made a pass on that altercation. 17 down, 3 to Rigo. 3 to Rigo, right. We're having fun, I hope you are. 3 remaining. Flat tire on the number 1 car. Tire breaks off, lays in turn 4. Off the number 1 car, left rear breaking off of Don Peaser's number 1 car. Just lays in the straightaway out of turn 4. Cargill's gonna find it. There, he spotted it.
66 is the fastest one out there.
Well, it's a dash for the cash right now. Can that 17-year-old hold off these hard chargers starting to bear down on him? We're back on the green. Cargill on the high side. On top of Terry Brewer. Brewer down low, Cargill up high. Cargill makes the pass up to second. White flag will come out this time around. Can Cargill pull it off? White flag action, one more time around. Brewer and Billy the Boot Irwin lock horns down the back chute. Oh, in turn 3 action. And your winner, Jeff Houston. Rollover, turn 3. Holy mackerel. Scott Cameron and Roger Herrick get locked up over in 3, and Herrick up on his top side. Quickly over there to see what's going on is Phil Cummings, our fire rescue squad. All ambulance quickly makes a report to the field.
Let's do the schlep one. Is he out? Yeah. Hey. Is he out? Yeah, he's out, standing up.
All right, Roger Herrick now out of his car and is okay.
The good old boy. Oh, Ferris came back out. You're supposed to take this before what happened.
All right, there he is, ladies and gentlemen, the young 17-year-old winner of the main event here tonight, Jeff Houston. All right, Jeff Houston, I tell you what, you worked your way through traffic, picking your way very carefully. How was that track condition tonight for your car setup? My car. And did you make any changes from the last? I know this is your 4th main event win. You're the winningest feature hobby stock driver here for 1995. What is your secret? Can you share it with me? I have no idea. And who does the setups on your car? Motorsports. Steve Smotherman Motorsports. Well, I tell you what, he's definitely got a handle on this hobby stock division. And is it true that you're just 17? Yeah. And what high school are you in? Comanche. Oh, and Natchez, pretty powerful football team this year.
Yeah.
So you guys, you're back here again next week for the run for the cash, if you will. I believe you'll be starting somewhere around 12th position. I believe they go on a point earned average. What will be your plan of attack for next Saturday night?
Same as tonight.
Which was?
Try to win.
Try to win. There you go. Big hand for a young 17-year-old out here kicking booty. Jets, who scored?
All right, that concludes another evening here at the Bakersfield Speedway, by golly. We had a lot of action, complete with rollovers, body slamming, all kinds of metal flying everywhere. And we'd like to invite you all back again next week, of course, when we have the late models, modified streets, hobby stocks, and ever popular crash and burn IMCA modifieds. All kinds of action brought to you by, of course, California Raceway Video. Your host here, Mike Mosier, the race doctor. And we've had all the popsicles we can handle here for one night. So until next week, we say good night, take care. May God bless each and every one of you. Good night, all, and I love.